Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Get your earballs ready. Welcome to the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Take time to sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Here are your hosts, Greg and Tim.
Welcome to the Greg and Tim Show. This is my loyal underboss, Greg.
Underboss.
The truth.
That's not
Stewart.
I am not the underboss.
It's so great to be back in the studio. It's been a while since I've seen you.
In the studio since we've seen
and
each
it's
other,
so good to see you. Where you're slightly darker. I'm very much darker.
Yeah.
But either way, it is so great to see you after, I think, what's been 5 weeks. And it's so great to see everyone out there.
It hasn't been 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's been 5 weeks.
No, it hasn't.
No?
You left on the day that happened at the end of February.
I'm doing the Ben math.
Yeah, Ben math. Oh, yeah, we're leaving in 7 days. Well, are you leaving the day before us?
We're leaving at 13. You count the sleeps and the naps.
Okay, Matthew.
So I have not seen you till today.
Yeah.
And
Today
it's been 21, 22 days.
We got a fantastic show lined up too, right?
And we weren't sure if we were going to actually have a show today because we
I knew we were. You weren't sure.
No, and
you said, "Are we recording this week?" I said, "You said we're recording this week." You want to go over the
the things I say, as my wife tells me, I don't always remember.
Yeah, or you misremember,
or it's in another alternate universe,
just like the Mandela effect. Oh my goodness!
So let's start with your trip. We're
going to start with my trip?
Yeah.
Well, let's tell people what we got going on this week.
Wait, do we have to?
Yeah,
what if it's a surprise? What if everything that we say today is a complete surprise and they don't know?
Okay, we're not going to tell you what's going on this week. But if you want to know, just go into the chapters. You can see what's happening. And you can just skip to whatever you want to watch. Oh, man. Let's roll then.
You want
to roll?
Let's roll.
Okay, we're rolling.
Grab your phone. It's podcast time. It's the Greg and Tim Show. It's the Greg and Tim Show.
Oh my goodness! It's as if nothing changed. You went on vacation and you came back the exact same.
That's surprising. After 48 years of life, after 3 weeks,
You're 48 now.
I wouldn't completely.
You had a birthday.
I did, yeah.
You had a birthday. I remember this now.
Yeah, we spent my birthday at Alcatraz doing a night tour.
Alcatraz, and you played baseball there. I saw.
Didn't play baseball.
A little picture up there.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tim from the Greg and Tim Show. This is my second day on vacation, and I'm sitting here at second base in the Alcatraz yard where they would have time every hour, and I'm so fascinated by this place.
You didn't play baseball.
I've never
you stood there.
I know I'm circumventing your because I said you should start.
Circumventing or circumcising?
Both. Either or. Pick or
I'm going to circumcise you real quick here. Just bend over.
I had been to Alcatraz 3 other times. I've never been to that field, like where they used to. If anyone's never.
Were you allowed to be on that field?
Yeah.
Oh.
There was when I went the night tour. They go back at night.
Yeah.
That's when and then they go. I think there's a couple extra things like they go around the island the other way.
Yeah.
But one of the things they do is they open up things that aren't available, right?
Yeah.
So upstairs in the hospital, they open that up. I've never been there in the 3 times I've been there.
Oh, okay.
And I don't remember ever going into that area where the inmates would the field or the play area, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe again, I'm not remembering properly.
The yard.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, there's second base, right? Everyone talks about that kind of stuff. The yard, right?
You got to second base on your trip?
Yeah. No comment. And
I know why you said circumventing. It's written right here on the page.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why it's in your head.
Is there a second base? And I know I said it in the video if anyone didn't catch it, but
it's on our Instagram stories. If you want to, our Instagram page, if you want to watch it.
Only 3 people have gotten off of Alcatraz in the time it was open.
Okay.
And weren't captured. And this whole big thing it's a big whole story. I'm not going to get into it, but if you want to look into it, I'm fascinated by it and whether they lived or whatever. So let's get into your trip. You went to Florida. You did a few things. Tell me all about your trip, man.
So I went on a trip to Florida. That is going to get you to spit out your coffee. You're still trying to swallow it all over that shirt right before you have to go out fancy tonight.
I don't. I'm just at practice.
I went on a trip to Florida. with the family. It was fantastic. We go to the same place every year, which is called Westgate Town Center.
Well, every year you haven't been there for 4 years.
Well, we haven't been there for 4 years, but for the 5 years previous, we had gone every year there. It's called Westgate Town Center. It has a whole bunch of stuff like mini golf, what's it called? What do they call it when you go down the water slides? Water slides?
What, did you just figure that out as you're in the
And they had swans that you could ride. They have a little train that goes through the area.
Not real
that you can
swans.
Ride.
Not real.
Well, they have real swans there, but you can't ride. They're much too small.
Is it the
bigger
swan
ones
boats?
you can ride? They're swan boats. Yeah.
We did that at Orlando in a park a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
This much larger park. It was kind of cool, actually. Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Oh, okay.
I'm adding things.
I know you are. You're doing a good job. You're almost being like me today. Anyway, the first week we went to Legoland.
Yeah.
Which, if you have kids between anybody that's watching here right now, if you have a kid between the ages of 6 and 12,
or if you are a kid between the ages of 6 and 12 and you're watching, yes, also.
Yeah, I don't know why your parents are letting you watch it, but you can. We're not a bad show for kids, but more adults will listen and watch. Anyway, if you're a kid between the ages of 6, 12, maybe 13, 14, as you get a little bit older, the rides get a little bit smaller, obviously, but it has, I think, 4 or 5 roller coasters, but they're kid roller coasters, but they're good enough for me.
Yeah.
Because they don't go upside down. They don't do corkscrews. They're not hanging you by your feet. They're not whipping you around. They're just regular old roller coasters, which are fun. The whole place is like Lego and Lego stuff and Legoland, essentially.
Hence the term Legoland, yeah.
Eden lost her fanny pack there.
Right.
We didn't realize it until we got home that she didn't, the next day that she didn't have it anymore. But I'm going to tell you a fun story about this. Ready?
Yeah.
So Lorraine's like, well, where would she have lost it? And we take a lot of pictures and videos when we're out, right?
Yeah.
So we're taking pictures and videos of everything that we go, and then we're looking through these pictures and videos. Oh, she has it there. Oh, she has it there.
Right.
Oh, she has it there. I'm pretty sure she lost it here. And it was on this ride called the Beetle Bounce. And on the ride, Eden wanted me to go on it. So Cruz and Eden went on it once, and then Cruz came off, and then I went on it with Eden and Cruz. And then Eden wanted me to go again, so I went again. And I'm wearing my famous glasses that you are so inquisitive about.
The ones that cost how much again?
They are undisclosed, I believe.
Okay. I'll look through all your mail.
But yeah, again. So what I was doing was I was recording our perspective when I was on the ride.
Yeah.
And as I'm looking around, I'm like slowly panning to where the cubbies are for all the stuff that you have to take out of your pockets when you get on the rides. Yeah. And there it is. Yeah. That was the last ride she rode that day. Right. So the issue was I got off the ride and she went back on again.
Oh, okay.
And then when she got off, she just ran off. Right. She didn't go back to the cubby and get her stuff.
Oh.
So there it is. I saw it in the video. Yeah. There's her fanny.
So that's good. Your $900 glasses
they're not
saved a
$12. They're not $900. So I call Legoland and they're like, "Oh, sorry, you can only submit it by email." I'm like, okay, perfect. I got a week and a half.
You accidentally got somebody on the phone. Well, I can't help you. Email.
A week and a half. They're like, oh, it takes about 3 to 5 business days. I'm like, I got a week and a half left. Maybe I'll find out. And Legoland's an hour away from where we're staying. Right. So I email them and I get no response for like 6 days. And then my brother-in-law and his family are going to Legoland. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, can you just go to customer service and ask them if they have this fanny pack? We know it was lost there. We know it's in Lost and Found. Yeah. And he went and he found it. Yeah. And he sent me a picture of the fanny pack. 2 minutes later, I get an email from Legoland. The email says, "We apologize, but we have not found anything of that description." Yeah, that's how that worked. And Eden's shirt from the fanny pack was missing. Yeah. So somebody took the shirt out of the fanny pack. Yeah. But left the fanny pack there.
Did you get the fanny pack?
We got the fanny pack back. Yeah. He found it. He got it. Yeah. And 2 minutes later, I got the email from Legoland saying, "Sorry, nothing of that description has been found."
Right.
Yeah. So that's
because it was already found.
I guess.
Now that you've taken this alternate fanny
it's just
pack.
funny because it was 2 minutes after I got the text from him saying, "Hey, is this it?" And I said, "Yes." I got an email from Legoland. I waited for like 7 days for the email from Legoland, and I got it 2 minutes after they went and picked it up.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Anyway.
Customer service in the year 2024.
So we did Legoland. We did a lot of things like, the outlet mall. We went to the Nike store. I bought some new Nike shoes, which I really like. We did a lot of different things. We went to Showcase of Citrus again. I got some salsa from there. And the highlight, I think, was we went to a couple baseball games. We went to the Orlando Magic game, so I saw the Jays. We can throw up some pictures while I'm talking about this.
Right there.
Cruz got to meet a whole bunch of players.
Cruz.
Yeah.
There.
Cruz got to meet some players, and I used my glasses there too, which was really fun. And the other thing was we went to the Magic game. Cruz loved the Magic game. And then he went to Universal with his mom.
Yeah.
And I stayed back with Eden, and me and her had a daddy-daughter day, which was a lot of fun. We just did some, easy things. We went to Disney Springs.
By easy, you mean free.
Well, not just free, but like we did the water park, we did mini golf, we did the Swans, we went to Disney Springs. I bought her something at Disney Springs because we saved her a lot of money by not going to the park. And she wasn't going to ride the rides anyway. So I don't know if you have kids that are under the age of 10.
If you have kids under the age of 10, or you are a kid under the age of 10,
don't go to Universal. It costs a lot of money nowadays. Universal for one day was $169 American.
Yeah, and that's the cheaper one too.
That's the one. Yeah, it's cheaper than Disney. Disney's $189, I believe. And the thing is that you only get into the one park. If you want both parks, it's $209. Yeah, and both parks are they're right beside each other. It's $209 for both parks. Yeah. So they only did one park. It was $169 each American with taxes. I think it came out to like $400. But I saved that money on me and Eden, and I saved parking. Right. Because I didn't have to park. I dropped them off. Right. So I saved $30 on parking. So I saved $430 American by not going there and hurting my feet and riding the rides that I didn't want to ride anyway. I'm not a big rider.
I don't ride at all. I don't ride rides at all.
No.
So
that was my trip. My trip was good. It was without a hitch. We had a great time. Kids got a lot of fun in the water park with their cousins were all there. So cousins from my side, cousins from Lorraine's side, they all had a blast. It was such a good time for everybody. And I'm ready to relax now.
Yes.
So how was your trip? Your trip was during
a couple comments
time.
about your trip before I start my whole spiel deal. Yeah. So 10 years ago, I went to Disney as well.
Land or World?
Well, it was. Sorry, we were in California actually.
So it's Land.
Yeah, it's Disneyland, and I didn't even go because there was 5 of us. Yeah, and we wanted to go see Conan O'Brien. Yeah, and there was 4 tickets. My cousin got 4 tickets, so I was like, whatever, I'll get a standby ticket, you guys, whatever. So they had some free time. I took the train or bus and train.
You ran somewhere
to go from to Burbank from we were staying in Anaheim or something like that. So bus, train, whatever, and I got to Burbank and I stood and did the 2-hour thing, standby in line. And the guys had the vehicle and they went to Disney for like 2 hours. Yeah. Like $100 each, whatever.
Yeah, back then it was much cheaper,
and
the dollar was almost on par.
I remember there was a period of time where actually we were
higher for a little bit, yeah.
And we had
the good old days.
Apparently, I saved again like $100 American, and I did end up getting a ticket. The show was great, and those shows are free. Yeah. But 4 guys went to Disney. Steve, who I won't say is a different Steve. Yeah. He got wet and
he's a joy.
He got wet and took his shirt off, and I think the Disney staff yelled at him to put his shirt back on.
So you want to know a Disney trick? Yeah. If you want
just a second, I got to write this down. Okay, go ahead.
If you want a free T-shirt at Disney, wear an inappropriate tank top, like one that says like Corona beer or something like that,
or virus.
Or coronavirus. And if you wear inappropriate tank top, when you get in the doors...
Oh, could I wear the T-shirt I sent you?
Yes, you can wear that one.
Okay.
You get in
can
the
you throw
doors,
that up?
No, I can't. I can't throw it up. There's kids watching.
If you are a kid,
don't watch. Anyway, they will take you to a special shop and give you a free T-shirt.
It's like when I was warned several times at the San Jose Sharks game not to lean forward, and the last warning they
said they
kicked me out. We have to move you, and I was like, "Where?" And they moved me like to the first row, center ice. It's like, oh. This is horrible.
This is the worst punishment ever.
Yeah. Anyway,
that leads me to ask you a question. We were talking.
No, I was told there'd be no questions.
We were talking on the chat today. Who's going to be the first guy that goes streaking during our 5 baseball games?
Yeah.
And then one of the guys, Andrew, said, "Well, I don't want to end up in jail."
Right.
And I said, "You probably just end up in the ballpark jail. It's not like anything."
Yeah. You. Yeah.
And then you said it was more like Facebook jail? Is that what you said?
No, I didn't say anything. That wasn't me. I wasn't part of that for the whole chat.
Oh.
Look back on it.
I can't look back on it because I don't have my phone.
Yeah, later on.
Later
after we're done taping.
No.
So okay.
But he doesn't want to streak, so he's declined the offer to streak.
Yeah.
So if you
Is it illegal
to be naked in public?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you could actually
could
actually put in jail.
Especially when you do it on a field in front of 1,000 people.
Yeah, you could actually get put in jail. It depends how they feel, right? And depends how you react when they come after you. So I'm not sure it would just be anyway. Before I go into how my trip was,
let's drag it on again. Just kidding.
Serious topic of the day.
Oh,
it's not really serious.
Okay.
But we talked about this a little before this, but the cost of food in the United States of America, while they're eating out, whether buying groceries, has just exploded.
Yeah.
I went to make bacon and eggs. A dozen eggs from the grocery store, $5 US.
Which is $7.50.
$7.50. Yeah. A thing of bacon, $10 US, cheapest one, $10. That's like $15.
That's why we're going to Costco.
Well, I haven't even seen Costco prices, but yeah, right. But
that's why we'll go to Costco.
Taking out your family for dinner now. Forget taking your family out. Just my wife and I going out.
Yeah, $120.
Yeah,
and that's American.
Yeah, you found the best place you went to was, where was it?
Chili's.
$32. Yeah, because they had the 2 for whatever it is.
Yeah, they had a good deal.
Yeah,
I like places like Chili's and Fridays.
Right.
And Applebee's in the States does it too. They do this like you look at the menu and you're like, oh, that's $18. Oh, that's $17. Oh, that's $16. And then you get to the back of the menu and it's always got the like, get 3 for $10.99. And then it's the drink that's regularly $5.99.
Yeah.
The super salad that's regularly like $3.99,
yeah.
And then the meal that's regular $17.99, you're gonna get for $10.99. And it's like they want you to order off the regular menu, so they put this at the back of the menu. Places like Fridays, Applebee's, Chili's do that. And when we go to the States, I'm gonna show you how this works.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm taken, and I've been to the States a few times.
What?
Since COVID, it seems like the pandemic of now is inflation. And if you have not been to the States in a while,
don't
go, but be very prepared. A number of years ago, groceries were always cheaper in the U.S., even when you took into account the exchange rate.
We learned this when we were going to Target in the States and stuff. When we were going to Target after Minneapolis and on the way back, we learned that like pop down there is like $5 for 12 pop.
Yeah.
Whereas it used to be like $2.99.
Yeah.
Right? Like everything's doubled.
Yeah. And if you think buying groceries in Minneapolis or Florida is expensive, try going to Hawaii.
Try going to California.
Insane. Gas prices there too. Insane.
How much was gas in California?
$5. Just under $5.
A gallon?
Yeah.
It was $3.19 in Florida.
Yeah. And same thing. It seems like those East Coast or the West Coast states.
$3.19 in Florida. That's basically like 75 cents a liter.
Yeah.
Times it by $1.40, and you're still less than Canada for gas.
Oh, it's less than $1, and we're $1.25 now per.
No, but times
liter.
it by times 75 by 1.4.
Yeah.
And that's what you get for Canadian pricing, right?
Yeah, cheaper.
But anyway, Florida was cheap for gas for the most part, but $5 a gallon for gas would be Crazy.
Yeah. So my trip was awesome. As you can see, I don't know if you can zoom in on my face. I still have a very
Your
good tan.
camera's right there. Your camera's over here.
I can be.
No, you can't be on that one. That one's me.
Oh, okay.
That one's both of us. That one doesn't zoom in. This one's zoomed in on your face.
Okay, zoom in again,
Zoomies.
right? So I still got a tan. My wife and I both burned. And I don't burn quite as badly. The next day, I wasn't really too bad. She wasn't too bad either.
Yeah.
So I got a pretty good tan. It wasn't hot, but it was good enough to sit out in the sun on the boat.
Yeah.
First 3 days in the cruise were pretty rocky.
Yeah.
Some people
some people
had a lot of issues with it.
Yeah.
My stomach was a little bit gurgly for a couple of days, and then the rest of the trip was great.
Smooth sailing.
It got better and better and better and better and better. We were on the Crown Princess, older ship. I liked it. But and I said this to you the other day, if you are somebody that needs like always to do something, zip lining, rock climbing,
basketball,
basketball we had on our ship, but
lawn bowling.
A lot of the new lawn bowling, bowling in general, like you said on one of the cruises,
Blue Man
bowling
Group.
alley, right? Yeah. So when there's, if you need something all the time, 24/7, some of the new ships, like the Oasis class,
you said
for
new,
Royal
right?
Caribbean. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, new.
I thought you said nude.
No.
Some of the nude ships
are more for you. For me, I like Princess. It's an older ship. It's like 18 years old, something like that.
Okay.
And what I noticed when I took my first cruise a couple of years ago is they had a huge space for things like I just mentioned. There'd be amusement park. There'd be like you could go on the carousel, whatever it is, right? Yeah. Or you could go on a huge carpet ride that goes
magic carpet. You didn't say magic carpet ride
from like the 17th floor all the way to the whatever anytime you want.
NCL has that,
right?
Yeah.
So they had a lot of space for that, but on the Royal Caribbean cruise, if I wanted to get into karaoke, I couldn't find a spot.
So it's so busy.
Because not only that, but there just wasn't the space that was used for other things, right?
You're talking about the Princess cruise.
Yeah,
you said Royal Caribbean.
The Royal Caribbean. That there wasn't a lot of space for it because it was being used for all these things, right? Whereas Princess is older. It's an older ship. There's things like hot tubs. There's more areas like restaurant, bar space for live music where you can sit, play cards, listen to live music, those kinds of things, which is more my style.
So essentially, like stuff that old people do.
Sure. If you want to call me old, that's okay.
No, I'm just saying. That's why.
Let's not call it old. Let's call it chiller personalities.
Chiller people,
right? And you can be chill at 18, you can be chilled at 90. It's just how it is, right? And yes, the ship that I was on was older. It is not Carnival, which we docked at the same time as another Carnival ship, and you knew who the Carnival people were at port.
They were the ones wearing fluorescent tank tops with short shorts.
They were the ones that didn't necessarily get back to the ship
on
time or not in the water, right? Which is no interest to me. But yeah, so those are some of the plus sizes, sides to the Princess sizes for the Crown Princess.
What's on your mind?
Which I really enjoyed.
Let's be face it.
Yeah, let's be face it. And there were things to do. It's just like I sang in a choir with a lot of 80-year-olds, which was very, very interesting. There are some strange people I know on cruise ships who can't sing but are
that love to belt it out.
William Hung, American Idol, whatever it is, right? And we played the ukulele. They taught us some songs.
Isn't it ukulele?
Yeah, so apparently yes, everyone says ukulele. If that's I mispronounce it my entire life. I was going to ask you how you pronounce it, so I'm just mispronouncing it. I'm mispronouncing it, I guess.
It's ukulele.
So we actually loved our sea days more than the port days, which is not
other
to
than
say,
like Honolulu you went to Pearl Harbor, right?
Yeah. So the downside to taking a cruise to Hawaii is you have 4 ports, they're all in a row, bang, 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 bang,
and then you're back at sea.
So that you're always like, we got to do this. And the first port to Kauai, we were late 2 hours. So it's like
you lost 2 hours of time.
We did everything ourselves too. We like pick up our rental car.
Yeah.
I ran to get my rental car. Brought it back, picked up my wife, and we went to go drive to see.
Is that when you called me? When you were like trying to figure out which way to go, left or right, and you went the wrong way for a little bit?
I don't think so.
No.
And so that was the downside, but I knew that going in.
Yeah, so it would be great if they did like, you go to Kauai and then they stay in sea for a day, and then the next, like 2 days later, you go to the next one.
Yeah.
Right? It would break it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a longer cruise, and I'm sure there are those.
How long was the cruise in total?
16 days. So you had 5 port days. You had... Sorry.
Why are you saying five port days?
5 sea days.
5 port days.
And then we did Kauai,
Leonard?
Kauai, Honolulu, Kona, Hilo, and then we were back at sea for another 5 days.
So
then Ensenada, and then another day at sea.
So you did have another port day after Hawaii.
Yeah, and apparently they do that because if you only are on American soil for your cruise or something like this,
they have to pay a certain.
They have to pay a certain. Right? They can only hire certain groupings of people, but if you go outside of the country, you can hire anyway. Something like that.
Did you know that when you go on a cruise ship, did yours have a casino on it?
Yeah.
Did you know that they can't open the casino until they're in international waters?
I did know that actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they have to be out a certain distance from shore,
and they have to charge. There's also a tax thing if they have to charge taxes when they're a certain distance away from shore too.
Yeah.
So they would just close the shops.
So that's why a lot of those expensive shops open on the big sea days.
Yeah. And
they have like, today is 25% off.
You only pay $70,000 for this necklace instead of.
Did they have the Invictus stuff still? Invictus watches and
I can't remember
all the. Did you ever go? Did you go to the any of the shopping stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they have a shopping. Do you know that they have a shopping person on the boat that will like guide you through a shopping tour of each island if you wanted to?
Oh.
That's how I got my wedding ring. I actually got my wedding ring on a cruise.
Right.
Because we did it so we went to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Does that sound right? Puerto Rico?
That was
We're in the Bahamas. So we went Puerto Rico and then we went to Nassau and somewhere else. But the lady told us, wherever she told us to get the ring, she said, wait until you get to this port. It's got the exact same stores, the exact same stuff. You'll get it cheaper and you won't pay tax. Yeah. Whereas in Puerto Rico, you would have paid tax on it.
Right. Yeah.
So, but anyway.
So the ports were great. Again, I knew going in they'd be rushed, but you can go back.
Yeah.
And we definitely will go back.
You like Hawaii?
Yeah.
This is your first time in Hawaii?
For sure, yeah.
So what was the highlight of Honolulu?
So going before,
because I've only been to Honolulu.
Before I answer that question, I talked to my wife about this. But you know how you have many of years where you build up an anticipation of a place, but you've never seen it and you experience it, and sometimes it's a letdown. Yeah. So I'll give you an example, and everyone's different. So
like Australia,
I'm not saying this sucks.
Australia is mine right now. Okay. Like I've never been, and I really want to go.
So first time I went to Vegas, I had this build up. I don't like Vegas. Okay. I gave it another chance. I don't like Vegas, and that's just whatever. To each his own. That's fine. But the first time I went to New York, it's superseded.
That's weird that New York is better for you than Vegas because they're very similar places in terms of energy.
No, they're not.
In terms of
maybe energy and but vibe. That's it.
The thing is with
Vegas is weird.
I think the thing with you is you didn't do Vegas. Yeah, I don't gamble either. And I think the thing with you with Vegas is you did it differently than like I would have done it because I do Vegas very similar to New York.
Yeah.
Right.
In New York, you can do a whole lot of stuff and be in bed by 10. In Vegas, not so much.
Yeah.
And that's me. I like to be home in bed by 10 and do everything else, right? Yep. Vegas is not the same as New York. I beg to differ. I love New York. I can't stand Vegas.
Okay.
Anyway, so those are two examples. Hawaii is another one. Had all these pictures in my mind. And it probably matched. The weather wasn't amazing. And again, it was rushed. I can't say how much that I think if we took the time to go to each island more. Yeah. We'd appreciate it more, but I did enjoy it.
What did you think of Honolulu?
What I liked about Honolulu, and Honolulu was the port we were at the longest.
Yeah,
and so
because it's the biggest.
It was one that wasn't rushed. So we did went to Diamond Head. I did this because you were the one, my expert on Honolulu. Yeah. So we did Diamond Head. We did Pearl Harbor. We were at Pearl Harbor for 6 hours. Yep. And then we did Waikiki Beach. Yeah. Just kind of walked around and we were going to eat.
It's got a boardwalk and everything.
Yeah, we walked from the boardwalk actually back to the ship because we.
Oh wow!
It was a pretty good walk because we just started walking and said, okay, we can do this. Yeah. And it started to rain, but it was very nice. Like I really liked it. one of the things if I have more days in Honolulu, there was so much other things outside of Honolulu we could have done.
North Shore.
Yeah. There's like something called the Three Peaks hike that I would do.
Well, North Shore also has like the Jurassic Park set. You've got the Lost set, and those are all hikes and stuff, right?
So we really like I said, we really enjoyed everything. The Uber drivers, all we did was Uber around. Waikiki was awesome. People.
Are you glad you didn't rent a car in the end?
In Waikiki, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
Because it's a city, right? And you would have just been stuck in traffic.
Yeah, for sure. And where the other ones, you only had a certain finite amount of time, and you wanted to go here, and sometimes they're not. Yeah. They're always not close for where we were, right? So we really enjoyed that.
So you're saying that like you had this build up.
Yeah.
So how did it? How did it work?
Probably matched.
It just matched.
Yeah, probably matched.
Do you get it now when I say that Honolulu is like the New York of Hawaii?
Compared to Hawaii, sure. I would say it reminded me more of Miami than New York.
Well, Miami would be the New York of Florida.
So when I was at Waikiki Beach, it was like I felt like I was at Miami Beach.
Yeah, like Miami is like the New York of Florida, and the reason why I say the New York of, it's like size, hustle, the amount of energy that's in there. You know what I mean? Like I look at cities like energy. Right? When I was in Texas last year, San Antonio wasn't the New York of Texas.
Right.
Houston was very, very hustle and bustle. Dallas was as well.
Right.
But San Antonio was more like laid back.
So I would like San Antonio.
You would like San Antonio. Have you not been to San Antonio?
No.
Oh, dude. You would love San Antonio. The Riverwalk, the caves.
Actually, the only city I've been to in Texas is Houston. I haven't been to Dallas. My wife's been to Dallas. I remember I've been to Dallas.
Well, your wife lived there, right?
Not in Dallas, Columbus, which is actually closer to Houston.
Oh, okay.
Bible school there. Yeah. And before I leave topic of my trip, which again was great. I really loved it. First time I ever played pickleball. I was going for my morning run, and so I would exercise every morning because that's
what you do.
I don't want to feel gross after 16 days. So that's me.
Yep.
Again, I'm weird.
No.
But I was going for my morning run, 8 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden these three people in the pickleball court like, "Hey, come play!" These three Swedes.
Were they wearing like
no
Speedos?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
They're older. They're like playing with ABBA.
Were they Swede?
Playing like with a group of the group called ABBA. Yeah. Anyway. And I was the fourth, so I was like, well, okay, sure. And it was windy.
They're like, we need somebody with brown hair.
And it was windy. Like you could do all you had to just like the ball
would be like all over the place.
Go over here. So my first time ever playing pickleball, and I've been asked to go here all the time at church doing pickleball, was on a ship with the wind blowing every which way.
It's definitely a different experience.
I dominated, I think.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you kill the Swedes?
Well, they were all Swedes, so it was not another team within the Swedes. So,
okay.
I think we split the games.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it wasn't the Swedish bikini team, though.
No, it was not.
No, that's too bad.
It was literally like playing with
talk about bikini
demographic of
never
ABBA.
mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's yeah. I think that you had a great trip. You sent me a lot of photos and sent me a lot of videos.
Because I want you to put it up. I want your editing.
I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance.
Do the one with Tammy on the ukulele. Just do like a little bit. Ukulele. Sorry, I keep mispronouncing it. Oh, I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you the story about my wife and the ukulele. So
now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that people know when you put up. You put up like 5 seconds of the video. It's fine. So
But speak for 10 minutes.
So they had ukuleles on there, and there was a couple from Hawaii that would teach people how to play, and every day they had practice with ukulele. And so I said, "Damn, let's." And my wife she kind of wants to relax, but I said, "No, come learn how to play the ukulele. We're going to Hawaii, right?" And so we did, and but she's not kind of a front row person and would be in the video, whatever, and so she just wanted to be. The last day we're on the stage. We're the only non-performers that actually took the stage at the theater. Was the people doing the hula dances, which I wasn't part of. You don't want to see that.
No.
And the people doing the ukulele. So ukulele. So I keep mispronouncing.
No, it's fine.
And so we are the last people on the whole thing to close the show, right? And she just doesn't even want to be in any shots or whatever. And then so I convinced her I convinced people in the front to let her go in the very, very front. And then so we had some peer pressure. You go in the front, I go in the front. And so
Did you buy a ukulele while you were out?
No.
You didn't buy one in Hawaii?
No, I know you can get them, but I'm not gonna buy one. I might maybe next time.
Wouldn't fit in the backpack.
Yeah, exactly.
For those of you guys that don't know, Tim travels with a backpack. Like that's it. A backpack. I know, and for 16 days.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a second.
We're gonna get to that.
I'll get to that in a second. Okay. Remind me to talk about that. So anyway, so long and short of it is, I got my wife to be right in the front row, and I talked to someone on the ship. I said, "Here's my number. Can you send me the
video?
The video of it?" And so you have my wife. She's strumming away on the ukulele.
I thought you took that video that you sent me.
I didn't take it. I talked to somebody who.
Are you in that video?
No, I'm way at the back where my wife wanted to be.
You're on the stage?
Yeah, but I'm in the back row.
Oh,
she's in
how do they know to zoom in on your wife?
Because the person who had her friend taking the video was right beside her, and she said, "Hey, focus on the Canadian." Which is like, I don't know who the Canadian
was. This the friends that I spoke to?
No, those are different friends.
Oh, okay.
We met a ton of people. Yeah. Anyway, but which, by the way, was one of the best things about the ship too.
I know, I love it. We meet people,
and you had shared dinners. You're not just sitting there just with your.
Jen from the hot sauce video above your head there.
Yeah.
She I met her on a cruise.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Cruises are awesome to meet people.
And 16 days, because the last one we took was 7. This was 16. You have 11 sea days. That's another reason why I like sea days. You every dinner you're meeting new people.
Yeah.
Everyone's most people are great. Some I want to. Yeah, but going back to what you were saying, what am I going back to talk about? Yeah, so every trip, so we took one big backpack, which is mine. It's like a oversized backpack. Mm-hmm. One smaller backpack for the shoes.
Yeah,
and then my wife has a smaller suitcase and one other backpack for 16 days. Yeah. And we actually fit quite a lot of stuff in there. I sent you a picture of the closet, which had all our dress-up clothes. The only thing I would have done differently, and thank goodness Princess has a laundromat. They're one of the only. Another reason why I like Princess is because they're one of the only lines that have actual laundromats.
Yeah,
and it was like right beside our room, and things that I get sweaty, like running shirts and socks and stuff that you kind of do need to wash. Then you would wash those, and it did a couple of loads on the trip, but it worked well. And I hate checking bags even if they're free, because how many times have you been to an airport
and
afterwards?
You lose the bag.
Not just lose the egg, but even if you don't lose the bag, it's bouncing everywhere.
Yeah.
And you wait an extra 45 minutes and you lose that part, right?
Yeah. When we get to the spring training talk at the end here, I want to talk a little bit about the bags and everything like that. Let's move on to the next topic. I think that 37 minutes of us talking about our trip is probably more than everybody needs.
Everyone loves to hear about our trips. That's what I assume.
Hey, and if you want to go on one of the trips, just drop us a line, gregandtimshow@gmail.com, and we can sign you up. You must be over the age of 18.
Yeah.
You must be able to travel alone.
Yeah.
And you must be able to deal with Tim for whatever amount of time we're
between the ages of 6 and 12, you are not eligible for this competition.
No, it's not a competition.
Or this contest.
And it's not a contest either. You have to pay your own way. So anyway,
plus our way.
Let's get into some of the sports talk. Let's talk about sports.
Yeah, sports music.
Should we do sports music?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
We should do the old CK&D sports with the big logo.
Oh, I don't even know if I can find it. Well, I'll find something.
Oh, you sure? I don't think legally we can.
Oh, yeah, I can do whatever I want.
Two sports guys.
So,
boot to the head.
So that's the sports music I found.
I really liked it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Interesting. In terms of like sports talk and that kind of thing, let's just skip it.
No,
I'm just kidding. I like sports talk.
Hey,
I like talking sports with you. And here's the reason why.
Yeah.
Because your opinion generally is close to my opinion, but different enough that it annoys me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Before we get into the other local blah, blah, blah stuff.
It's not local. These are all...
I wanted to get into this topic.
Okay,
and sports related.
Oh, okay.
Right, but I don't want to forget about it.
Okay.
Because there's something that's, I don't know if you're aware of this. There's a minor league baseball team.
Yeah.
In the city of Savannah, Georgia.
Yep.
They are called the Savannah Bananas, and they're a minor league team, just like the Winnipeg Gold Eyes.
No, not.
Well, sorry.
They were.
They are.
They were
yes,
a minor league team, like the Winnipeg Gold Eyes.
They were, in other words, they are not a major league baseball team.
Yeah.
And instead of just playing baseball, a number of years ago, they started to do some very interesting things with.
Do you know the
marketing.
real story behind it?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
I'm just giving people the short version. You can go into whatever else, right? So they do such a good job of entertaining fans with ABCD. Roger Clemens pitched the other day for them, so they're big news. They actually sold out what used to be called Minute Maid Park, which is
still
now
called Minute Maid Park.
Still called Minute Maid Park.
Used to be called Enron Field.
Before that, all that fiasco went down, and so now. They do such a good job with entertaining people that if you go right now, go on.
No, don't right now. After the show.
After the show, well, they can multitask.
No, they can't.
And try to get a ticket for the Savannah Bananas anywhere.
Yeah,
and it's either sold out or it's $400.
Well, and it's because it's all resale tickets because it is sold out.
Right.
So here's the deal. The guy that bought the Bananas, they were a farm team or a independent baseball team or whatever they were back in the day in Savannah. He bought them, and then he started to change the rules up of his game.
Just an amazing thing to see, just a success story go from, a little egg to a full-fledged sort of phenomenon.
I started trying to learn everything I could about the baseball business, but more about the entertainment business.
It's not even a baseball game, it's a circus. It's a circus.
I don't even know how they did it. I seriously have no idea how you packed Grace's Stadium because I have no idea how they really, really did it.
And what he did was he's got the Savannah Bananas and the Party Animals. And they play kind of like the old Harlem Globetrotters versus the, what's it called?
Washington Generals.
Yeah. So the Party Animals
just played regular basketball.
The Party Animals all have mustaches and they're like, they look crazy. They got ripped sleeves.
They go on carnival cruises.
Yeah, they go on carnival cruises. And then the Bananas, aren't all clean cut, but they're the good guys.
Right.
The Party Animals, the bad guys. Yeah. And here's the thing: the game doesn't end always with Bananas winning. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, this isn't like the Harlem Globetrotters where the Globetrotters dominate and everybody looks silly. This is like the umpire is a performer. Yeah. The players do backflips in the outfield when they catch a ball. Like, when they're catching the ball, they do the backflip. You can steal on any pitch. So if you get a pitch in the dirt and it goes to the backstop, you can steal first base on the first pitch. Yeah. Like, you don't even have to swing. You can just steal first base. Yeah. When you walk, the players have to throw the ball around. Every player on the field has to touch the ball. Yeah. And the player that's walked can run the bases as fast as he can to get to as many bases as he wants. But if he's caught between bases when the ball gets to the last person and the last person tags him, the guy's out on the walk. Like, there's so many different rules. I've drank so much coffee today that I can't even explain all the rules. But here's the thing.
Nor do I expect you to.
The Bananas, the fans, if you catch a foul ball, the player's out. Yeah. Right? And that's the thing is, like, the Banana at home, like, people aren't going to catch foul balls. Yeah. They let the foul balls fall so that their home team doesn't get out. Yeah. But then you can catch it. And anyway, so it's very interesting, but I'm getting so many messages from people who don't.
We knew about this a couple years ago already.
Like 3 years ago.
We were all over this.
Yeah.
And now Greg messaged me saying, my friends are messaging me saying, well, have you seen the Savannah Bananas play?
I would watch baseball.
And they said something that was on the surface made sense, but when you think about it, it makes absolutely no sense. They said, I would watch baseball too if it was like this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, sure. You name your favorite activity: hiking, opera, chess, soccer, and someone told you, I would like one of those things too, but it needs to be blindfolded and it just needs to be silly. I need to have a clown outfit on. You'd be insulted. You would be.
The goalie in soccer has to wear Mickey Mouse hands.
Yeah. It's fun and it's original. And by all means, if you ever have a chance to mortgage your house to go to a game, then do it.
3 years ago, I wanted to go to a game, and I said, we got to go to one of these games.
Yeah.
And back then, it was easy to get tickets. It wasn't,
easier.
Now they're touring all over the United States, and they're selling out Major League Baseball parks.
Yeah.
40 to 60,000 people a game for a minor league.
Yeah.
Like these guys that are playing on the team, nothing against these guys.
Yeah.
Like some of these guys are super talented in terms of like growing the game of baseball and the interest in baseball.
Yeah.
Because they can do certain things that other players can't.
Yeah.
But these are minor league players that have been cut from minor league teams.
Yes.
These are players that would play for the Gold Eyes.
Yes.
And they're playing in front of 60,000 people.
So kudos to them. They found a
100%.
niche.
I love it.
And they're being creative, and that's absolutely great. And again, I would go see them. I would.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. But don't compare that to Major League Baseball. They are completely different things, and you can appreciate both. And these people that are saying these things are ridiculous.
I got a better comparison.
Okay.
It would be like as if I don't like F1 racing. Well, I don't hate F1 racing, but I don't watch it because it's boring to me.
Right.
But
Me
if
too.
F1 racing was like Mario Kart, I would watch it every day.
Right.
You know, with the slicks and the bananas and the bombs and the ways to knock people out. If Mario Kart and F1 racing were the same thing, if it was just live Mario Kart, I would watch it.
Right. But you try telling that to someone
who loves F1 racing.
F1 racing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
I get it. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But
I have a bananas hat. I bought it like a year and a half ago, and now I'm getting messages from everybody about the bananas because they're getting popular.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the thing with popularity is eventually you're going to be able to go to these games for cheap again. Just
it has a life.
Harlem Globetrotters come here and you can get a ticket for like $5.
I didn't realize they even still.
Yeah, they still tour. Yeah.
This will have a lifespan. It will go away, and enjoy it while it does. Again, I'm not this old crusty guy saying it's a huge gimmick.
Do you remember the movie Basketball?
Yeah.
With the guys from South Park?
Yeah.
They invent a game that's basketball and baseball together.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, and it's kind of like that.
Right.
Like it's all of a sudden huge. I think that it's funny, but basketball. If you haven't seen basketball, don't watch it with your children. But it's funny.
Okay, so we talked about Savanah Ball. Got that off my chest.
Yeah. Vegas circumventing the. Oh jeez. Vegas
doing Vegas things. The Golden Knights.
Vegas has basically taken a page out of the playbook of
the Los Angeles Dodgers.
No, the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Lightning did this for a couple of years where they have players on the injured list that would miraculously, by a miracle, come back on the first game of the playoffs when the cap doesn't count anymore.
Yeah.
So for anybody that doesn't watch hockey or know the rules of hockey, you have a salary cap that you have to work within, and it's a certain amount of money every year. And if you're over that cap, you have to drop players into the minor leagues, which you could lose to other teams if they want to pick them up. Now, what Vegas has done is Mark Stone again is hurt, and they put him on LTIR. Hurt with quotes. They put him on LTIR.
We should do the Austin Powers, the Dr. Eula.
In which we called a laser.
That would sound.
Anyway.
Laser
beams. He's been hit by a laser beam. So Mark Stone's hurt again, and now Vegas is picking up more and more players. We talked about the LA Dodgers doing their thing where they're deferring contracts.
Yeah.
Now, this is another way that teams are getting around. So Vegas isn't even in a playoff spot right now.
Yeah.
But they're picking up these players in the anticipation that they can make a run into the playoff spot.
The danger is if by putting that player who is quote unquote injured and you don't make the playoffs, I suppose, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, because they're picking up these players, they're getting better. Mark Stone's not their best player, but he's an expensive player.
Right.
So because he's an expensive player, in order to get better players than him, they can get 2 $4 million guys by putting one $8 million guy on the LTIR, right?
Cowboys need to do that.
Cowboys need to sign somebody.
But if they put him on the LTR.
Yeah. So Vegas has done that, and they're it's what they say is circumventing the cap.
Yeah.
Whether or not this isn't going to be a long topic because I don't think that people care as much, but
well, the long part of the story is, again, something.
Do you think something's going to happen with the NHLPA and the NHL labor agreement?
No, because you can't prove it. You're going to go and get a doctor in there and tap on his knee and say, "Oh, he's not really hurt."
Well, you can do something by saying, like, if you put somebody on an LTIR, 75% of his salary is going to go towards your cap still.
Right, or maybe 50% or something that's a bit more
right,
realistic.
depending on how long he's out for.
Yeah.
Right?
But what if he is actually? What if it's a Brian Little situation where he literally is out because
maybe the penalty comes maybe the penalty comes in the form of the cap still counting during the playoffs. Maybe that's the
you have to differentiate between a legitimate LTR and a non.
That's how you don't have to differentiate.
Okay.
So listen for 1 sec.
Right
now, they are over the cap if he was on the team, right? Like if playoffs started today, they'd be over the cap, but the cap doesn't count in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Make the cap count in the playoffs.
Right. Oh, be when he does come back, yeah.
No, like then he can't come back, or they have to drop other players.
Right.
Right? Make the cap count.
Right.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Now, and the league may not want to do that because the league doesn't mind Vegas doing very well, maybe.
Vegas doing Vegas things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Another hockey story here real quick is the Tortorella suspension.
Oh, John Tortorella. Do you like John Tortorella?
I like watching him.
He's very entertaining. Eh?
How did he break his finger? He broke his thumb. Did he break it banging that glass behind him? Or did he break it banging one of the players in front of him?
He fell in the shower.
I don't know. He fell in the shower.
Yeah.
Onto a doorknob. I didn't know exactly what happened because none of the places were showing like what happened to lead up to him getting kicked out of the game. The reason why nobody's showing why he got kicked out of the game is because nobody knows.
Right.
He got scored on. He was upset about a penalty that got called. So first things first, the penalty got called.
Yeah.
And the ref comes up and goes, penalty on number 23, Tampa Bay, 2 minutes for tripping.
Yeah.
And the Tampa Bay coach goes crazy. John Cooper goes crazy. Yeah. And because the Tampa Bay player was the one that got tripped. And then the ref goes, sorry. He comes back like 30 seconds later. Correction. Penalty on number 23, Philadelphia Flyers, 2 minutes for tripping.
Right.
Then Tortorella goes crazy. Yeah. So Tortorella goes crazy. And then during the power play, one of his players skates by after the whistle and like gives a little shove to the Lightning.
Yeah.
And that player gets a 10-minute misconduct.
Right.
All of a sudden the refs are just handing out penalties like it's candy at Halloween right now. Tortorella gets upset.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
The Flyers get scored on. And Tortorella's upset. So now he's changing goalies.
Yeah.
And he gives the refs the old gears like, a coach normally does. Like, this isn't out of the norm.
Yeah.
Right? But he's given and nobody actually knows what he said or what he did because then the ref just comes up and goes, 2-minute penalty, bench minor for the coach and a game misconduct.
Yeah, kicked him out.
And he's like, wow.
You rarely see an NHL coach get kicked out in general.
Especially for like just yelling at the ref.
In baseball, you see it all the time. It does not happen in hockey.
Because you're not allowed to argue balls and strikes, right? In baseball, that's a no-no and you get kicked out. Right. But in hockey, you argue with the refs all the time. Yeah. He gets this, and then all of a sudden, he loses it. Yeah. And if you haven't seen the video, you got to check it out. Just Google Tortorella tossed.
We'll put a little bit of it up here.
I mean, it was crazy hard. It was violent a lot of times then. And he's still refusing to absolutely go.
He loses it, and he doesn't want to leave the bench. And because he doesn't want to leave the bench, it turns into a 2-game suspension. Yeah. And the Philadelphia Flyers said, we'll pay the fine because they agreed that he shouldn't have been kicked out.
Yeah.
I don't know if they knew the fine would be $50,000.
Well, that's not much.
Most players get like a $5,000 fine.
For a professional hockey team, $50,000 isn't much.
But
it's a
no, it was for the coach. The coach was fined.
Yeah, I know.
Trouba got fined $5,000 for swinging a stick across a guy's face.
Yeah, that's a different issue for another day.
But anyways, Tortorella.
Sounds like a dish, like some kind of lasagna dish, eh?
Yeah.
I'm going to have the tortorella and the muscata to drink as well.
Can I get it with rosé sauce instead?
You can get it with rosé
The tortorella.
sauce, yeah. The tortorella with the rosé.
And chicken tortorella.
Wasn't that the name of Carla from Cheers? Tortorelli wasn't her last name.
Tortorelli?
It was like it was something similar.
Someone's going to comment saying it's Tortorelli or
yes,
Tortorelli.
Tortorelli or something like that. Anyway,
Tortellini.
I just thought of that. Anyway, yes, please someone correct me because I think it's close, but it's not the same thing.
Anyway.
Okay. Let's go on to a little bit of Jets talk before we wrap things up. So we have while we were gone, just before we came back, we picked up Jets picked up Monahan. While we were gone, Jets picked up Toffoli. And then we picked up Colin Miller.
The same day as Toffoli on the
so three
deadline.
guys who are not in our starting lineup, who are in our starting lineup today. Today we're
and
playing.
Colin Miller is a right-handed shot, which we've said for the whole season that we needed.
Yeah, famously one of the guys that Bufflin was manhandling.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
But he won a Stanley Cup with them too.
Yeah,
with Vegas.
So 3, in my opinion, really good pickups.
Yeah,
giving up a second, a fourth, and a first overall. I think.
Here's the thing:
no players, no prospects,
no prospects. Which we could have given up a couple players if they wanted to take them, but nobody wants Stanley, and
apparently no one wants Hianola.
I don't think they offered Hianola.
I think they've been offering him for 2 years, and nobody's picking him up.
But here's the thing: Chevy is I think, a genius a lot of the times. Yeah. So he picks up players that have connections.
Yeah.
So Dubois' dad coached for the Moose.
Yeah.
Stasny had a connection with Wheeler. Hayes grew up in, I think he was born in Winnipeg, and he grew up like as a Jets fan.
Yeah.
Now he picks up Toffoli after Monahan. So the Monahan trade was kind of we need a guy that's a center. Second line center.
Yeah, great with faceoffs.
Great with faceoffs. Great on the power play, and he stands in front of the net.
Yeah, he was 8 for, I think it was like 9 for 11 last game.
He's a fantastic faceoff guy.
And
he helped.
Reinvigorated power play, same thing. If you start with the puck, it's always better.
So Monahan, they pick up. They get Toffoli now.
Yeah.
Now, here's the cool thing.
Yeah.
Toffoli won a Stanley Cup with the LA Kings, but he also played with Alex Iafallo with the Kings.
Yeah.
He's played with Colin Miller because they both came over from New Jersey. So that gives him a little bit of insulation when he comes here. He knows somebody. Yeah. He knows Iafallo. But he also played junior hockey with Sean Monahan.
Yeah.
That is crazy that they put together a line of Iafallo, Monahan, and Toffoli. All three of those guys have played together at one point in their careers. And they could be all first-line guys.
Yeah.
Essentially. Iafallo's kind of on the bubble.
Oh, Iafallo's not really a first liner. He's a second liner.
But to add 2 first line guys to the second line with a guy that they've also played with, I think Chevy was a genius.
Yeah, even your right-handed defenseman for very little, Miller, was a good pickup too.
Yeah, and Toffoli's right-handed.
Yeah.
The power play now for the Jets has 3 right-handed players with Monahan, Toffoli, and Scheifele. And now Connor and Morrissey are the only left-handed. Yeah. That power play was all left-handed at one point when Scheifele was out.
Yeah, and the results are just
it shows.
Their power play is completely different.
It shows. Yeah. And I've been saying this
we've all been saying
ever since Bufflin. Yeah. Oh, sorry. We've all been saying this since Bufflin's been gone because we lost Bufflin and Trouba.
Yeah.
Both great right-handed players, and then we lost Laine, who was also a right-handed shot. Yeah. And now that they've added the right hands back, makes a big difference. The Jets' best power play, I remember the knock on the Jets' power play when they traded for Stasny. The Jets' best power play was when they got Stasny and added a left-handed shot onto that power play. Because it was at that time, it was Bufflin, Wheeler, Laine, Scheifele, and then whoever they put into the bumper position. Yeah. Then they added Stasny as a left-handed shot. That added an extra little cross ice pass that they didn't have for a while, right?
Yeah. So solid pickups, all 3 of them.
Sorry, am I going too long on it?
No, it's fine. We're going to assume none of the 3 re-signed, but that's the cost of doing business when you're in the playoffs.
I don't assume because I think we got Niederreiter re-signed. Nemestikov re-signed.
If it's a bonus if we re-sign all of them, or any one of them. But I'm just assuming we're not. But that's okay.
Easier to re-sign Monahan and Toffoli now that they're both here.
There's no way Toffoli's. Maybe you can sign Monahan. I don't think you're signing Toffoli.
I don't know.
Anyway. I don't think you're signing any of them, but that's okay. I still give them a first, second, and fourth, which is what they did.
Yeah.
For those players in a run where even if they don't do it, you have a chance to do it, right?
And you don't lose any of your future, really.
Yeah.
Our first overall pick's going to be a 28th overall pick.
And some people said, "Oh, first rounder, you can't
You got to get rid of
first rounder." That's
when
the
it's the 28th pick.
If that's the cost,
yeah,
you give up that cost. You don't give up the cost, and you don't end up with that player who, again,
Somebody
8 for 11 on faceoffs, reinvigorates the power play.
Yeah.
There is a cost to doing business, and sometimes you have to pay that cost.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. And if they didn't do anything, you'd have the other side of the armchair quarterback saying, armchair GM saying, "Oh, the Jets never do anything. Chevy just sits on his royal." You never win with some people.
I'm gonna put a big bleep on that whole thing that you said.
I mumbled the words at the end.
It's just gonna be a big old long
you
bleep.
Just pretend like I was.
Anyway,
but the Jets are doing well. Like
the Jets are doing well.
They are still like
they're
fifth overall in the league or something like that. Winning percentage.
4th overall in the league, but I think that they've got games in hand, and with those games in hand,
I'm just saying win percentage.
Yeah. I think they're second win percentage. I think. High. Anyway, so this is our last recording. Yeah. We are going on a trip next week.
Yeah.
We're going on a trip with.
Where are we going on a trip, Greg?
Me and you and 6 other guys.
Yes, that makes 8.
Makes 8.
Or as Ben says, 7.
Ben's math is different than ours. We're going to go spring training. And we're going to do a little bit of videos down in spring training. We're going to check out what's going on down there. And we're going to the season opener for the Blue Jays.
In Tropicana Field.
Pumped for this.
Tampa Bay. What's up? What do you say?
I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah. Ben's making T-shirts for us.
Yeah.
They're going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I'll put up the T-shirt picture right now.
They are exactly to specifications. Every one of us. 8 people.
We actually took the photo and we just cartoonized it.
It literally shows.
It's like looking in a mirror.
It's like is that me, or is that I wasn't sure if it was a representation of me or it was me. It looked really
it's almost
close.
Identical.
It's like when you go on the trips and those people say stand there and they draw you for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like that.
So when we go down, we have to recreate that photo.
Yeah.
for next year.
I wish you'd be with our real bodies.
Yeah. Well, these are with our real bodies too. Anyway, anybody that's watching right now can see that photo up there.
And I'm
if you're not watching the show, you're missing a lot of things.
I'm the one wearing the cowboy hat.
You are the one wearing the cowboy hat.
And Ben is the
one that's not wearing a cowboy hat. Ben goes, "Which one's me?" Anyway, so we're going on this trip. We've got all the tickets planned, as we've talked about before. We've got our hotels planned. I'm excited for it. It's coming up fast. Now, packing wise, I'm not bringing a checked bag,
right?
But I am bringing a carry-on and a backpack. Yeah. What are you bringing?
Just backpack.
And a carry-on.
I can put a carry-on. My backpack fits a whole lot.
You're gonna wear that one shirt the whole trip.
No, that backpack did 16 days.
Also, don't tell my wife.
Shoes.
Don't tell my wife, but I bought another jersey.
Don't
tell if she's listening right now.
Greg purchased
a jersey.
Another jersey.
So, I got a Bo Bichette jersey. I want to get it signed while we're down there. I've packed a Sharpie marker.
Yeah.
I packed my baseball glove.
Yeah.
I've packed a couple jerseys to wear while I'm down there. And I am also packing my spyglasses.
And what else are we packing?
The microphones.
So we are going to do a live.
We'll see. Let's not promise this.
I'm promising it. I'm promising it. We are going to do a live show.
Okay.
From Florida.
Perfect.
And this will be our first live show.
It will be very bare bones.
Yeah.
It'll be literally
bare bones, like
just
bare back. As
be,
in my shirt will be off.
Yeah. It'll be just the camera. Just
actually, I'm not going to promise.
We'll sit on the couch and we'll
please
talk
watch.
about
Please watch. I'll have a shirt on. Please watch.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. And subscribe and check it out. And be sure to follow us on Instagram right now, because our Instagram will have all the behind the scenes of the trip. And if you want to sign up for one of these trips, we'll let you know how much it costs, plus the 10% finder's fee that you have to pay us for us to plan everything, so that our trip's free.
So we have a couple more interviews while we're in the next little bit coming up that we're getting.
So next week, Dr. Dan's part 2.
Yeah.
So everybody that's enjoyed part 1.
And by the way, that interview, if you have not had a chance to watch the interview with Dr. Dan, I know some people don't know who that is, but you have to watch it. Like the conversations we had, in my opinion, and all the interviews were great.
Yeah.
But the conversation we had in this interview was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. You will too.
It's a change of pace.
Yeah, and listen to it. Just again, if you don't know who he is, after the end of the interview, you will enjoy that you actually watched. And after part 2, hilarious end to the part 2. Hilarious.
Yeah, the part 2 ending is interesting.
It's classic. Brilliant. And I'm saying that because, you'll see.
Yeah,
I don't want to give anything more.
So anyway,
stay to the end
so part 2 of Dr. Dan's next week. So if you're watching this week right now on time, next week will be part 2 of Dr. Dan. Those of you who have watched this whole episode after watching the first Dr. Dan episode, thinking, who are these guys? Yeah. Why did I subscribe? Well, we just like to have fun, talk. We've got another interview coming. We got 2 more interviews that are in the bag already that we just need to post. And they're really fun too. But Dr. Dan part 2 is next week, and we will be away. Then we'll do some live podcasts, as Tim says. We'll figure that out.
And we're going to do a recap of the whole trip, which is going to be fun. And it'll be our first recap since the Blue Jays postseason game.
Yeah.
And we're coming up. Remember, we said we're at the last Jays game,
and we're going to be at the first one.
And this will be coming up now in 14 days or whatever.
I'm excited.
Before we go,
question
for you.
Okay.
Do you pre-tan before you go to a warm destination?
So I don't pre-tan before I go to a warm destination.
Yeah.
But I'm changing things up this time.
All right.
So I went to a warm destination and I burnt a day, and then I start tanning because that's how it works, right? You burn, then you tan.
Yeah.
So I'm darker now than when I left.
Right.
But I don't want to burn again.
Right.
So what I've been doing is every second day since I got back, I've been going to Fabutan because I have minutes that I haven't used in years.
Right.
And shout out to the people at Fabutan that don't watch. I am going every second day until the day we leave.
If you have minutes there from like 15 years ago, do you still have minutes?
Yeah.
My wife has minutes there. I know she has.
I got my wife's minutes because she doesn't tan anymore. I got hers transferred into my account. I have 175 minutes right now.
She's got lots of minutes too. We should look into that.
But anyway, so I'm tanning every second day until we go because I want to not burn again.
Right.
And I also want to look like a local.
Right. I'll fit in. I'll have no.
You're not gonna lighten up.
In Florida now, in Winnipeg in the next few days.
Yeah,
maybe a little.
You have a week. You don't think you're gonna lose any of your tan?
Maybe a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey, thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show. We appreciate it. If you haven't yet and you made it this far, make sure that you hit the old like button, the subscribe button, the share button. But first, all we need you to do is hit that like button. Hit the like button first because we love that part, and then the subscribe button too. We're at. I'm not going to tell the story right now because it's a long story. We're at 1,400 subscribers over already. So good job. We're loving everybody that's watching and commenting and sharing our posts. We appreciate it. You have a fantastic week, and we'll see you again next week with part 2 of the Dr. Dan interview.
Au revoir, au wiedersehen, adieu, adieu, adieu to you. And you know what that song is from? Isn't that from The Sound of Music? Goodbye. Goodbye. Well, check it out. Are we still on?
No.
Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Sharing is caring.